Malum is all suspense, all tension, right from the opening shot through to the end credits. It holds you by the throat and it just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. As the story starts to unfold, more and more weird stuff starts happening, more information is given to the audience to develop the plot further, and everything with the cult and the creatures and their beliefs I loved. Like all of the videos that we saw in the trailer of the cult and all of these sacrifices that are happening. I loved all that stuff. All that stuff was great. And the gore in this film, it is graphic, it is grotesque, and it is gnarly to look at. Like the gore in this film and the effects look absolutely outstanding, if not some of the best of the year. But this isn't a perfect film by any means. So, getting into some of my problems quickly, as much as I adored the suspense in the film, the second act is very repetitive. It's a lot of what we've already seen and established in the first quarter of the film. Like our main character, gets to this precinct, she's a rookie, first night on the job, and shit starts to go wrong. She starts to hear sounds. She goes to investigate those sounds. The second act is a lot of the same. There's a little bit more to it, but I did feel that they were dragging it a bit too long. And I felt like there was some more meat on the bone that they could have chew off to make that second act stronger. But I still really enjoyed the second act. Like there was enough intrigue that kept me invested and intrigued to see where it was all going to end up. So there's that part. And then the second part is the main character. Now I have two ways of looking at this, because our main character, she's made a name for herself at this precinct with her dad, who is a recently deceased police officer. I won't get too much into detail with that, but they do some great stuff, with her dad in here that I absolutely adored. But there's not a whole lot of characterization given to our main character, which I feel like this was intentional, because seeing, I guess, what the payoff of the movie is, I mean, if you get attached to her, I mean, it would make that ending a lot more, I think, effective and a lot more emotional. So, on one hand, I really just don't know why there's not a whole lot of development for her character. Like, what's her previous job experience like? Does she know how to use gun arms? Does she know how to do all of this stuff? Because that's not explored here, and I think it's very necessary, in information, to know if this character really has what it takes to survive the night. So yeah, the ending of this film I did think was a bit sloppy, because I think there's a lot of information that is left out there that they could have added in to explain a bit more of what is going on. Like, I get the gist, but I did feel that the execution wasn't as strong there. But yeah, like it's weird that there's not that this is a character that has 99% of the screen time, and you do almost nothing with her. Like, and you don't really get attached to her, in any way. Which I found that such a weird direction. Like, did the director want us to get attached to this character or not? Because by the ending of the film, it looks like the director didn't want us to cheer her on. But then on the other hand, she's our final girl here. So I found that weird that was the direction that they took with our main character here. Another thing I should quickly specify here as well is I thought the scares were top notch. The scares in this film are very effective. There's a few scares where There was a scare in this that was an homage to Lights Out. That was at the beginning of the film. I really liked that. A lot of these scares were well built up, and I thought it had the reaction that it needed here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to specify. Oh, the production value and the direction is really good here. The direction, on the other hand, I think is mostly competent. I think this is a film that I think it's mainly to entertain people. This is a film that you sit down, with your girlfriend, with your wife, you grab some popcorn and, you can be scared. You can be scared for an hour and a half. And I think that's what that's what the goal of this film was. This is a great film to, turn on during the October season, and and you can just have fun with. It gets you in the Halloween spirit. I think that's one thing I really just loved about this film, is this is a film that we really need now, because I mean, this year hasn't been the greatest when it comes to entertainment, and so when a film like this comes along, I think a lot more people should reach out to it. And I think when October does eventually come around, I think a lot more people will recognize this film, and I think a lot more people will discover it. And that's what I want to happen. Is I want this film, to definitely do well on VOD, because I think there is a lot to like. I think this is definitely one of the better horror films that we have got in recent memory. We've had Insidious, The Red Door, which I thought was a fantastic movie. We have Infinity Pool, and now we have Malum. And these films, I think, are all good, because I think these are just the films that you can you can sit down with. You don't really need to think about too much, and that's what I kind of like. But I think story and character, I think, are always going to be two things that are important in a narrative of a film. But anyways, so yeah, definitely check out Malum. It's on video on demand now, so yeah, please highly recommend this film. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'll see you next time.